it's it's a hilarious mashup between the two worlds. Quite unexpected that the seriousness of the Marvel Avengers world is intersected with the absolute lunacy of the Professor Doof world.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they've done a fantastic job of getting the few Avengers that are in this episode at our funniest. They've taken our powers from us. We've been switched up. I've got Spider-Man's powers. You've got Iron Man's powers. All of a sudden,
I've become smart.
You're incredibly intelligent. I can't stop hanging from things. I'm still making really odd quotes.
Who gets your powers?
Iron Man does.
Iron Man,
but he can't pick up the hammer.
Yeah,
because he's not
not
worthy.
Thor.
That's
Yeah,
right.
It's
It's
and
not about power.
Baljeet gets my powers. Yeah,
That's right. Spider-Man. That's right. Spider-Man gets your powers.
Yeah.
He's picking up everything. For us, it's the characters that we love being thrown in a crazy situation where all our powers are mixed up, with fantastic humor from the Phineas and Ferb gang, which we just loved. When we first heard about it, we thought amazing. You know, to get to work with Swampy and I mean, they're just fantastic.
Brilliant guys.
Yeah. Did you feel like they were hulky?
I did. I felt a very frighteningly little difference than what I do. We were just to go in and play our characters in the situation. And so you play the drama and the reality of the situation, and then hopefully that's where the comedy comes out.
Yeah, I was so surprised. I guess it's really not hard to write Thor when you think about it. Just throw some ifs on the end of everything. How if are you doing if? Could you hand me that wrench? If. But you know, they did a fantastic job. It's a great mix up between Phineas and Ferb running around in their high little voices, our deep voices thundering in with this gravitas and this seriousness, and I really enjoyed it. The action too. We had to tip our hats to the animators.
Yes, you could see. You could see that the animators on Phineas and Ferb have such passion for the Marvel universe because they just took it on. They took us smooth and powerful, and the villains themselves. Venom looks terrifying.
Yeah,
They're terrifying.
I'd say that final action scene rivals anything that we do in our Avengers show.
It was incredible, and
impressive.
yeah.
Pinch me.
Exactly.
Ow.
Ow, sorry. That was a bit hard there.
Jeez. Big green oaf.
Yeah, okay, Goldilocks. It's an honor because we've been into these characters, Travis and I are comic book geeks. We love these things, and since I've been following Hulk forever, since I was a kid, so this is a really big deal to me. It's a kind of a dream come true.
It was funny. We were telling a story. One of my neighbors has a young boy who hasn't quite made it into comic books just yet, and I told him I play Thor in Avengers Assemble, and he went, "Oh, okay." And then he found out that we were going to be in Phineas and Ferb. You're going to be in Phineas and Ferb? I'm like, yes, but it's Thor. Can you tell me more about Phineas and Ferb?
Thor?
Right.
Yeah, who's Thor and Phineas and Ferb, right?
Yeah, if anyone wasn't quite sure, Phineas and Ferb is quite a big deal. And we are guests in a universe that is enormously funny.
Yeah, works out. And I love seeing Red Skull just trying to deal with Professor Doof. Like,
Oh my gosh, it's so good. Who was that masked beaver duck?
why is he firing waffles?
If only we could do the German accent as well. For me, I was such a fan of Chris Hemsworth's portrayal of Thor in the movies. I thought he had this real sense of being regal and powerful and duty bound, but at the same time he has that heart. He cares for the people that he's protecting. He's always has a sense of humor about him. So it was important to me not to make it too strong, too powerful, but just warm and very kingly in a way. And that I really enjoyed hearing that. So that's what I try and bring through. It's not so much of a rage-driven car wreck of violence and yeah. How do you get to that place, Fred?
Well, I totally believe you as Thor. That's what I love. Okay. Meditation, yes, I do. A lot of yoga. And no, for me to get into,
you stretch.
I do. It's the most important part. For me, again, every portrayal of Hulk that I've seen in the animation, in the live action, and every portrayal of Banner has been an influence. I love what Ruffalo did, and Bixby and all. But for me, I've had the chance to develop him over the years. So you start to kind of find the placement for him, and sometimes it's this balance between a rage and a primitive kind of personality to an absolute heart underneath it. The key with him is that he's a good person, and he's not a monster. And trying to unite those two worlds in one soul.
You certainly smell like a monster.
Oh, you better believe it. I eat a lot of kale. This interview's over.
Drop the mic. I believe the talented team of Phineas and Ferb have quite imagination, a very high intellect. However, our good friend Tony Stark is a billionaire, and he gives us lots of toys to play with, so I think we're bound to say Tony Stark. However, when Phineas and Ferb reach a certain age, perhaps there should be a battle, a duel, if you will, of the intellects?
I think that's a good idea. I was going to give it to the platypus.
I don't think that was an option, actually.
I don't care.
Oh, all right.
Okay. I think our friend Tony, probably the higher IQ at the moment, but when those two grow up, I think they're going to beat him.
I think that's a fair shot. Let's go with the platypus, shall we?
Please.
The platypus. The beaver duck.